Welcome to another episode of Treasure Corals, and today's video is all about local fish stores. They're all reefing stores. We get to visit 3 different ones. It's Reef Paradise, it is Reef Wholesale, and CM Aquatics. We get to see one of the most beautiful tanks that I've seen before. I'm strongly considering purchasing one for myself. Let me know if you've had it in your aquarium and your experience about it. It's expensive, and I don't think I've ever seen or paid attention to that at the store. And we also get to see a really cute puppy, and how can you say no to that? So let's dive right in, and I hope you're really going to enjoy this one. All right, let's take a look at Reef Paradise. Hello, Dimo.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, and you have a new addition. This is all over the social media. So
let me take him up.
look at that little guy. Oh God!
Come here. Come here.
Oh, he is the cutest. Wow. So first of all, what's the name?
His name is Max.
Max. Very nice. And how old is Max?
He's about 10 weeks and 2 days.
Oh my goodness. So he's just so he only had probably a first shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First shot. We're getting I think first 2 shots.
Oh my goodness.
He's getting his last one in 2 weeks.
And what is he?
He's a golden lab, but he's a Dudley, so he has a light nose and lighter eyes, so it's not like a regular black nose.
Oh my goodness. And also like blue eyes, eh?
Yeah, they're like bluish green. It's green. It's really weird.
Wow. He is a cutie.
He was the fattest of the litter.
Oh yeah.
So we took him. Fattest and calmest.
So you're planning to keep him here?
Back and forth from the house, but I want to try and keep him here for a lot of socialization.
Oh, nice.
And you know, it's nice. It's a pet store at the end of the day.
Very nice. So, wow, beautiful. So you let him roam around, or?
We do. We're trying to get him used to his crate as much as possible, so I kind of do a little bit of both. So we do like maybe half an hour in the crate, let him sleep for a bit or calm down.
He is the cutest. Wow. What a lovely guy. He smells my dog.
Most likely.
So yeah, he's beautiful. Very nice.
And his favorite toy is an octopus, which is pretty funny, pretty fitting.
Oh yeah, he's good. So how's the store?
Store's really good. It's been a pretty busy week, even though we haven't had too many new shipments. We just got a small Florida order in, some peppermint shrimp, mangroves, royal grammas.
Nice.
And we have some Hawaiian fish, some flame hawks, whitetail bristletooths.
Oh really? Okay, so we'll take a look at the fish in a sec. How's the tank doing over here? Everything is
pretty good. I've had a little bit of an algae issue. I believe it's ulva growing on the sand.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
But it's kind of loose. It's not really attached to anything.
I've never seen an ulva on the sand.
Yeah, I threw in a bunch of hermits, and they took 80% of it within about a week. And I think they kind of gave up now, so I got to throw some more in there.
And the tangs are not going after ulva?
They won't.
Really?
They won't. There's a couple patches on the rock work where I used to have some colonies before I sold them, and they just really won't touch it. I don't know why. I stopped feeding them for even 3 or 4 days.
Wow. So with
my nasotang loves the ulva. Whenever I have some of it growing on the overflow, I'll just pick it out, throw it in the other table, and he eats it up. But
what about putting a naso in this tank?
A little too small.
Oh, I see.
I think it's a little too small. I don't want to push it.
The tank police, eh?
Yeah, and I want to kind of lead by example in a way. I don't want to tell people I wouldn't put one in a 60.
Yep.
Even though I have one right next to them in a 60 gallon.
Nice. I like how much the Slimer has grown.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's going on a pretty nice growth spurt now.
Yeah. You got the Slimer, you got the Forest Fire Digi, also looking pretty good.
Yeah, there's a few colonies we ended up taking out of here, cutting them up.
Yeah.
Too many people wanted them, so.
Very nice. So that's beautiful. Well, I picked up today my first bandsaw. I've never had it, so
nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
You're gonna have lots of fun with that.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So
lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, so you're waiting for, I guess, the coral shipment, eh?
Yeah, it's been pushed now to April 6th. I have 3 orders the first week of April.
Okay.
There's new routing for Indonesia now, so we're going to be getting stuff a little bit faster. It's not going to stop in Jakarta, I'm pretty sure. It used to go from Bali to Jakarta, then Istanbul to here. And now it's just going to go from Bali to Istanbul and right to here.
So it's going to be shorter, or?
It's going to be a shorter flight, so healthier corals. We should have a lot less DOA.
Nice.
Should help bring some prices down a little bit.
Yeah, the prices have certainly gone up. So.
Oh, always, unfortunately.
But you've got some. You're holding color very, very nicely. I mean, I see everything is pretty much at its peak. Still doing the fauna marin?
Yep.
So that's.
We've cut back a little bit, actually quite a bit on the food. We used to do like a 4 to 5 times dose for the Min-S, but we have very little coral stock right now, so we try to follow the instructions on the bottle instead of going a bit crazy.
So, well, the colors are doing well. And oh, this is the fish, right?
Yeah, the new fish are in the bottom right corner.
Ooh, I want to check this out. I haven't seen it. Who's the whitetail?
So it's all these bristletooths here.
Oh, really?
So there's
gorgeous.
There are 5 of them left. I think 3 are already sold, the 3 larger ones.
Yeah.
And then I think we just have the 2 smaller ones left for sale. And then there's a couple flame hawks in.
How much are the?
The larger ones were $350 and the smaller ones are $300.
Wow, I've never seen this coloration before.
Yeah, and they've only been here for 4 days now. I had them in the back treating them, so they're going to color up a lot more.
So you've got it's like a coal tank, jam tank, and the mini all had a baby.
Yeah, and a little bit of that reddish orange in there too, kind of like a chevron. So it's a really nice fish.
Wow.
Once you put them in a reef tank, they really start to glow.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
So.
All right, Max.
Oh wait, I love it. That's such a beautiful fish. No wonder. I'm gonna post the video on Sunday, so if you haven't sold those last 2, this is your chance to do it. I'm tempted to get it myself.
Nice fish.
Yeah. Well, what about the clowns? What are those clowns?
There's a mix in there. There's some super storms.
Yeah.
There's some mocha storms, and then there might be 1 or 2 orange storms left.
Sweet. So you've got those.
There's a little bit of our green chromis left from our 2-week quarantine. We had 100, and they came out of quarantine on Wednesday, and we sold about 80 of them on Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah, because we hold them for 2 weeks to treat them for uranema specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah, I remember that post too. Yeah.
They go in the back tank, and then they get a medicated bath, and then 14 days of metronidazole in the water and in their food.
Mind giving us a sneak peek of how you look after your fish? I don't think we caught it last time. So.
There's just a little clownfish in there right now.
We're getting a back tour, so look at that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess, but this is a 180-gallon tank that we put the fish in when they come in.
Yep.
Normally we do a little bit of an acid drop to match the pH.
Yep.
And the fish go in there overnight to get a slow drip, and they'll always have an air stone on. As long as they're looking good the next morning, they'll get their first medicated bath, and then we can start flushing them into the system. They'll sit back here for normally another 2 days, where we're putting Metro in their food. And once they start to look good, they'll get a freshwater dip and put into their display tanks.
And you have, is that a UV or?
Yeah, so this is the sump for the fish system.
Wow.
It's about a 500-gallon system, but I have a UV that's for a 2,000-gallon system. It's 100% contact, so it goes right through the return pump.
Wow.
So no water goes anywhere unless it touches a UV.
That's incredible. And so these are like 4 units, or is it like one?
It's
unit?
Technically it's 2 units.
Oh, 2 units, right. So those things.
Yeah, it's a 2 80 watts.
Wow.
But like the way they're sold, it's a commercial unit. So 40 and 40 and then 40 and 40, so 160 total.
It's like you've done this in the past.
Oh yeah, I've definitely planned this for a while, how I was going to do it. But other than that, just some rock and a skimmer.
And then we've got some
coral grow out.
Look at that. Yeah, nice high-end stuff over here. Some nice acros.
Some frag packs healing, waiting to get shipped out.
Yeah. You offer shipping now, right?
Yes, we ship all across Canada.
That's gorgeous. I love it. That's a nice mushroom as well. So, looking good.
Then we've got our Ghani farm, mushrooms, polyps.
Wow. So pretty much everything that is pretty hot right now, you've got. So.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
I always try to keep some stuff and grow it. I mean, personally for me, I like the hobby, so I can only have so much in my display. There's some stuff I really was holding on to for a while, but the last few months we've had to sell.
I love that you have a TV always playing kind of what is out there in the wild, and
Yes.
you can compare it to an actual tank.
It's inspiring for people, but
Yeah.
my main idea was during the busy weekends, like as an example this morning, if there's 3 or 4 people in the store,
Yep.
I can only help one person at a time, so at least they have something else to look at.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's also inspiring. It shows what you can have at home.
Sweet. So, and I see you've been doing some rework. Oh, you got the
Yeah, I finally
reagents.
got some Trident reagents in stock.
Nice.
It's been a long time. We got some other random dry goods last week, a bunch of salt, some Aquatics products, Apex.
Very nice.
Stuff.
And you've got the fauna marin.
We had
stack.
another order of it, but I don't know why people decided to come stock up the last few days. So we have to do another order of salt. This is all we have left from the almost 2,000 kilo order we had. So a new order coming soon for that, and then some more of the dry goods.
Sweet. Well, everything is looking good, so can't wait to come back when you got your coral shipment.
Well,
so
you're gonna have an exclusive tour with store closed. You're gonna be here on your own.
I will make sure to bring proper lighting and everything else.
We'll do it really nice for you guys.
Dimo, thanks a lot for showing us around.
Thank you guys for coming.
Cheers. Let's take a quick peek at Reef Wholesale. So first of all, if you've never been here, it's an amazing hand-painted mural that was done by one of Reef Wholesale staff, and this is incredible. Look at this. I'm not gonna touch it, but you've got the Achilles, you've got urchins, butterflies, just beautiful. Alright, let's take a quick peek inside. So we've got quite an amazing facility here that's just massive. This is evening time. This is probably when they're doing lots of shipment. And we've got a section on the left that's all fish. There's tons of different small and large fish. They probably go through a lot of volume on a daily or weekly basis. And then we go over to the right side. This is where the really cool stuff is. This is where they have corals. So you've got beds and beds and beds of coral. It's all lit by radiance. So I see some newer gen radiance. I don't know how many there are, but if I were to guess, I'd say at least a few, over 100 for sure. I'll ask Patrick as to how many they have. And they all seem to be running a B+ schedule or something very similar. So let's take a quick look at the beds and see what's up. So we've got, I guess, WYSIWYG and tons of Euphyllia. Moving on, lots of frags. I like the tags. Very nice. You've got polka dots. There's a few beds that are now with no light. It's probably past their schedule. The LPS, let's take a look at some of the LPS stuff, because I think this is where all the really bright stuff is. You've got some Monties. More Monties. No, this is Leptos. This is awesome. Gonies. We've got clove polyps. More torches. I like the flow on all of the tanks. So this is, I think Aquatics has done a video on this, but all of the flow is detritus-free tanks. I'm thinking of doing something in my system eventually, something similar, because you don't need to worry about the bottom, and all the detritus gets moved up and out into the overflows. Got fancier stuff here. I think this is or was a Coral Lab experiment. And there's a few more beds in the back. So tons of things to pick from. I think this is where all the... Okay, let's take a quick peek at the higher end stuff. Sure. First of all, you've got... I think it's... Is it a Viamingi or some other tank? But this guy is probably 12 inches. I think every time when I see a big fish, I always say it's 12 inches. So I gotta actually start measuring them. Convict tank over here. You've got more Euphilia. You've got way more coral. Look at that. Ooh. Now that's just gorgeous. Wow. There's some really nice coloration here. Love it. Just love it. Look at the polyp extension of this guy, wherever it is. It's nice. And then more coral, more coral. Oh, this is what I wanted to shoot for you guys. The mangrove spot right over here. So let's look at the other Viamingi. I think there's two of them. A sailfin. So that huge sailfin looks small compared to those tanks. Got the mangrove. I think there's both red and black mangroves. So you've got the top shelf, you've got the bottom shelf. There is probably 3-4 inches of sand in here that they're all in. And if we look closer, we might be lucky to see some crabs in here. So let's take a look and see if we can actually find any. And I think there were some. But I do not see any of them right now. Okay, let's take a look at this anemone tank over here. This is what type of anemone is this?
Chicago sunburst.
This is Chicago sunburst anemone. Probably one of the fancier versions of anemone that costs an ungodly amount of money. And I think the video doesn't even quite do its justice. This is an amazing kind of orange, pink, yellow color. Love it. Let's take a look at it from this side. I think there's no flow, so it kind of is in the shape. And right next to it, there's a second water box tank. And this one is... What's in the left one?
The Nexus BTA.
Nexus?
Nexus, yeah.
Nexus BTA, so bubble tip anemone. Also beautiful. Let's take a look from the top because there's no lid. That is nice. And they're all both lit by a radiant light. I think this is Gen 4.
Gen 5.
Is it?
Maybe.
No, Gen 4. It is Gen 4. And really nice spectrum for the color. I like how the background is fairly dark, so it gives you that contrast. So overall, beautiful setup. If I were to pick, I'd probably still go for the one on the red. And look at that little fella in the back there. It's some sort of a goby.
It's a trimmer goby.
It's a trimmer goby. Beautiful. Really tiny. I'm surprised the anemone hasn't had a meal out of it yet. So he has managed to escape its tentacles. Pretty awesome. Let's take a look at CM Aquatics. This is one of our regular visits to the store. Things are looking quite well. There's quite a few fish in the back there, and this is an impromptu visit just to take a look at if there's anything new when it comes to fish. Maybe a few corals. There's lots of softies, lots of goanies over here. So goanies are all the rage right now. There's even a freshwater cube over here. I'm not a huge fan of the glow-in-the-dark fish personally, but to each their own. And you can clearly, I think this is a pretty cool idea to have a freshwater tank right next to a saltwater, because every time you go into a saltwater tank, if you want to rinse, you can just put your hands in here. So let's take a look at a shark. There's a little shark over here. Later on I'll ask Chris what type of shark it is, but I think it's alive. It's some sort of a cat shark, I think. Alright, moving on. We've got a zoa garden over here. And some frog spawn. Lots of frog spawn. I do like this invertebrate section over here, but more importantly, this is a beautiful old school softy tank. So you can see there's, what is it, a 6K look, so it's not even a 10K, it's a very warm light. And I don't see any fish here, but obviously this is what a softy tank will, or a softy aquarium, a softy lagoon will look like in the wild. There's lots of copepods over here though. I don't know if we'll be able to focus on them, but there's lots of movement on a micro level. Let's say hi to Chris himself. Maybe he's gonna wave his hand. Hey, thanks. And the store is busy. There's a few people here. Every time I come over, there's always a bit of a rotation going on. So I really dig this design where on one side is a see-through fish tank. So lots of compartments, and you can see lots of small fish in the middle, bigger ones that they can bury. Let's take a look at actually a few fish. So we've got some sort of a wrasse, blenny, and a firefish, goby. A few more. I think Chris is waiting for another shipment, but if you've been following this channel, you know how much I enjoy the powder blues, and I know this guy has been here for at least a week, but probably more. You can see he's not too thin, so, and he hasn't died. So if I were to take a chance with the powder blue, I'd strongly consider this guy, but I would feed him first. It's a beautiful emperor fish over here. Let's see if we can focus on him. Gorgeous guy. Hello everyone. And let's take a look at some of the corals that are happening at CM Aquatics with Chris. So you've got a few nice looking monties, you've got a forest fire mushroom. I really like that one. It's basically your bread and butter corals over here. I really like some of the bigger chalices and donuts over here. And this guy is probably the size of a dinner plate. That one is gorgeous. So under bright blue light, it's gonna look really dope. I think we got our answer about the shark. I think it's a Bali shark. Look at this anemone over here. This guy is probably, it's bigger than a basketball. I'd say it's a good 20 inches in diameter. So we've visited 3 different stores, and let me know in the comments below which other local stores you want me to visit over the next few weeks. And more importantly, what do you think about that whitetail bristletooth tank? Should I add it to my system? Is it too expensive? Is there something else I'm missing? Do I take a risk, or is it gonna die? Let me know in the comments below, and see you next Sunday.